Hello everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Javon Teague, and this is another episode of 2 Minute Tea. That is T for truth, E for encouragement, and A for assurance. This will actually be the longest 2 Minute Tea video you will ever watch, but that's okay. I believe it's very necessary, so let's get started. So thank you so much for tuning in to this video. This video is going to be a little bit more vulnerable for me than my other videos that I have on my page. Every single time I get ready to do a video, I find myself kind of coming back here in one way or another, and I just kind of thought about that this morning, and I said, well, you know what? I'm kind of skirting around it in a lot of the ideas that I have for my videos. Why don't I just kind of hit it head on and just talk about it? So the topic that I'm going to be discussing today is identity, and how we as a society sometimes do not help when it comes to people trying to find out who they are and their meaning and their purpose in life. So today I'm going to be talking about a person that struggled with her identity, and her name is Michelle. So Michelle was fortunate enough to be raised by a bunch of beautiful women who encouraged her, who loved on her, who showed her the world through their eyes, and absolutely did the best that they could and raised her right. But Michelle, unfortunately, had a father who was incarcerated at the age of 5. So she was 5, he went to prison. And so from the age of 5 to 13, she had no male figure in her life. And then from the ages of 13 till she moved out of the house around 19, she did have a stepfather, but the relationship was not there. The relationship from a father to a daughter, we all know, is extremely important in assuring that young girl that you're beautiful, everything is going to be okay, and you're going to make it, you're going to survive. So she didn't have that. And so even though she knew that she was destined to float for the stars, there was something missing, that though she searched the world for it, she could never, no matter how hard she looked, she could never find that thing that could fill that void for her. And so aside from Michelle not having her father in her life to really set the tone for her identity, she had to face bullies. And just like anyone suffering from bullies, that created a fear in her. Instead of being bold and courageous and shooting for the stars, she became very fearful and very timid and very worrisome. And so quickly, a lot of her decisions came from fear. Instead of her making decisions based off of what she believed to be true in her life, suddenly every single thing that she desired was backtracked from being super outrageous and fun and resilient to something that was just safe and just normal and just okay to sneak by. She was controlled by fear. She was gripped by it. And everything that she would do for the next 10 years in her life was controlled by that fear. But the one thing about Michelle is that she's extremely emotional. And because she was extremely emotional, because she spoke with her heart, she allowed herself to be heart-tied to different circumstances and different people that did not understand her self-worth, just as she didn't. They lacked in the ability of giving her what she needed. She lacked in the ability of showing them what she needed, and therefore her relationship suffered, just as a lot of other areas in her life suffered. There were nights that she cried. There were nights where she was lonely, and that became a way of life for her. That became, again, the catapult of her decision making. So today, Michelle Teague, as in Javon Michelle Teague, as in me, I stand here before you, someone that, though I do not fully understand everything that I am and everything that I will be, I will tell you that I am a much better person for simply loving me. In fact, I had to learn how to love the hell out of me. That is loving me until every bit of fear, until every bit of discouragement, until every bit of naysaying, your nose is too big, your waist is too this, your your shoulders are too broad, until every negative comment that was ever spoken over my life completely disappeared, until you're not good enough disappeared. And let me tell you, yes, I was bullied by someone that I went to school with in high school, but the biggest person that bullied me was that little person sitting on my shoulder, looking myself in the mirror, telling me that I could not do it, telling me that I was not worth it, telling me that I did not deserve love and would never find true love. Well, here's the thing. I may not have never ever said that out of my mouth out loud, but I showed myself by not loving myself. I showed myself by not identifying myself by the true divine God and the true divine Father in heaven that loves me despite of, that cares for me despite of. Me learning to love myself has been a lifelong journey. Do I fully know how to love myself? No. Do I wake up every morning and make it a conscious effort to love myself? Absolutely. Do I make it a conscious effort to understand that if I'm receiving a lot of negativity from people, it's because I'm giving out negativity and I need to stop and refocus on things? Absolutely. This is what I wake up every day and I have to conquer before I can step out and say I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm this, I'm that. I have to wake up and make a conscious effort of just choosing to love me. And that, if I'm being vulnerable, if I do not do that, I will be hit with anxiety. I will be hit with overcompensating or just being extra. I will be hit with a number of different things because I'm unbalanced. I have found that me learning who I am is not about trying to have other people accept me. It is about me finding a balance so that I can properly execute my everyday life. Because yes, one day my hopes and dreams are to be in front of a live studio audience as a talk show host, delivering this message to millions upon millions of people. But before I can do that, before I can give anything of myself, I have to be good here. And so my part of me sneaking into media is truly just discovering who I am, being comfortable in my own skin, being comfortable with myself enough to know that if I make a mistake, it is okay. Because so I know this has been the longest 2-minute tea ever, but my encouragement to anyone out there that doesn't understand who they are, my simple reminder for you today, my simple truth for you today is to love yourself. Love yourself beyond limits. Take the barriers off. Learn how to love yourself beyond time and beyond reason, because I can assure you, I can promise you that you are worth it. You are worth it more than that little voice telling you that you're not. You're worth it more than you ever thought you were. And if you don't believe you're worth it, you can at least rest assured that you have one other person thinking, or knowing rather, that you are worth it, and that is me. So I'll be sharing with you guys later on this week about some statements that I created that I read very often to myself. One of them is a confidence statement. Another is a declaration that I am done with fear and anxiety. And let me tell you, I have to read these declarations and mean it, okay? I wrote them with the confidence of knowing that whenever I read them, I will be declaring to myself and declaring to whatever's on the inside of me that needs to know, this is a day that I'm going to have peace. This is a day that I will not allow fear to run my heart and my decision making. So again, in future videos, I'll be able to share those with you guys and encourage you to write your own, because if you're watching this and understanding what I'm saying, you probably need to write some yourself. And I will be sharing with you guys a lot more about my identity crisis, if you will. But you'll have to stay tuned in order to do that. So do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to like and or leave a comment below. Again, I am your host, Javon Teague. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, bye-bye.